The sun was coming up over Basaran Valley on April 22, 2025. Families were on vacation. Tourists were taking photos of the pine forests and snow-capped peaks near Pahalgam. By late morning, that quiet was gone. 5 armed men entered the meadow. Survivors later said the attackers asked people their names and religion before opening fire. In less than an hour, 26 people were dead. Husbands, fathers, daughters, honeymooners. One of them was Navy officer Vinay Narwal, married just days earlier. A photo of his wife Himanshi in her bridal clothes sitting beside his body spread across India in a matter of hours. The attack left families shattered and a country in shock. Within days, the Indian government began planning a response. They named it Operation Sindoor. Sindoor is the red powder a married Hindu woman wears in her hair parting. The name directly referenced the image of Himanshi Narwal and the other newly widowed spouses. At 1:05 a.m. on May 7, 2025, the operation began. For 25 minutes, the night sky over the line of control lit up. The Indian Air Force carried out strikes from inside Indian airspace using long-range precision weapons. The targets were 9 separate locations across Pakistan-administered Kashmir, Punjab, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. India stated the strikes were aimed only at camps and training centers tied to the groups Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. Among the sites named were Murik, where GM leader Masood Azhar was believed to operate, and the Jaish headquarters at Markaz Subhan Allah near Bahawalpur. India said the operation was conducted with strict rules of engagement to avoid civilian areas, but across the border the human cost was felt immediately. Pakistan reported that homes were hit and that women and children were among the dead. Families in Bahawalpur and Muzaffarabad described being pulled from rubble in the middle of the night. Pakistan called the strikes an act of aggression and said it shot down several Indian aircraft. The next week was tense. Pakistan launched drone incursions and artillery fire across the line of control. Shells landed near villages in Poonch and Rajaury. India reported that the Shambhu Temple in Jammu and a Gurdwara in Poonch suffered damage. At a Christian convent in the border area, nuns moved children into basements as explosions shook the walls. On both sides, farmers left fields unplowed. Schools closed. Families who had lived as neighbors for decades now waited for sirens. Diplomatic ties unraveled fast. India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, a water-sharing agreement that had survived 3 wars. Diplomats were expelled. Borders closed. In villages along the line of control, people who share the same language and same crops suddenly could not call relatives 10 miles away. India said Operation Sindoor relied heavily on technology to limit harm. Planners used Indian satellites for mapping and navigation. The strikes were carried out with Skal-PG cruise missiles that fly low and use terrain maps to reach their targets. Military officers said they also used red teaming, a process where they argue against their own plan, trying to find flaws before a shot is fired. By May 10, 2025, the operation was declared over. The governments in Delhi and Islamabad both claimed success. In New York and Washington, leaders urged calm. For the families in Pahalgam, nothing ended on May 10. Himanshi Narwal, the young widow whose image became a national symbol, later asked the public not to turn grief into hatred against Muslims or Kashmiris. She said, "We want justice, but not more violence." Sindoor lasted 25 minutes in the air. On the ground, its aftermath is measured in empty chairs at dinner tables, in farmland left untended, and in questions that do not have easy answers. It showed how quickly loss can travel across a border and how long it can stay in the lives it touches. If this video helped you, then like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel.